how's it going out there? Happy Saturday. Happy Saturday, everybody. It's another live stream. Really appreciate you guys coming in. The topic today is easy strumming for beginners. But it's a live stream. So last week, what was the topic last week? It was the course, the theory, Music Theory 101. Thanks for the help, Matt. Give it up for Matt. Helpful. Come on, management. Go. No. Music Theory 101, but I saw some of the comments were like, I thought it was Music Theory 101. What is this, a story time? Blah, blah, blah. Well, anyway, this is a live stream. So in the live stream setting, I pick a topic, and I'm always going to talk about the topic. Now, last week, I had the theory sale going, so it was tied in with that. But because it's specifically a live stream, I interact with you guys, and we may detours, talking about your comments. And Matt is here looking at the comments. If there's any really important topics up, I want to, just take a moment. That's the whole point of live, is the interaction. So I do have a beginner strumming. I find that beginners, that's like really difficult when someone's starting out. So I'm going to give some tips right now on that. Someone said, Ozzy, did you see Joe Bonamassa had hats on the other day? I've seen him wear a hat with my image on it. He does find friends himself, always share it with me. So I don't know which recent, but man, that is the most flattering thing in the world. And Joe Bonamassa, I've met him and I've hung out with him, and he couldn't have been nicer to me. So I appreciate that. And the other fun tidbit about that is he didn't actually, I don't know where he got that hat. It's not a hat that I sell. So someone made him that hat or something, but all the even more exciting, that he has some custom hat of me on it that I don't even know where he got it. Okay, so the thing about strumming is, especially for a beginner, when you're playing guitar, your right hand, your left hand are both doing separate things. Now they're they're working together, but they're doing two different things. The left hand is just doing straight up memorization of shapes, at least in the beginning, right? And you've heard the word caged. Those are the basic shapes you want to be able to start learning first. So C, G, E, and D. Not in that order, but those shapes kind of translate up and down the neck into scales, arpeggios, melodies, but those are the basic shapes that you start with. And then the three minor chords that you want to know as a beginner is E minor. That in fact, E minor chord, I think anyone should learn. A minor. And D minor. So those are things you can practice the muscle memory, and you could be watching TV or movie and just pick two shapes and switch them back and forth. E minor though, that's a good one. But so what happens for a beginner is if they're taking a chord progression like E minor to G, keep a steady rhythm, the chord has to be able to switch really quick. Otherwise, it won't be there in time for your right hand. So sometimes in the beginning, you want to just do some programming, looking at shapes. Take two shapes and go back and forth. But then other times, just doing a right hand rhythm pattern. And then other times, put them together. So you kind of are deconstructing all the elements and then putting them back together. So let's take a right hand pattern right now. Down, 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 down. I'll do one and then you repeat it. So I hope you guys have your guitars. And also today, I haven't done it in a really long time, but I am also streaming on TikTok and Instagram today. How's that looking, Matt?
Looks good.
Okay.
Yeah, we got TikTok over here.
Hey everyone. Now, YouTube's my main thing because I make my living mostly from YouTube, so that's why I'm looking at YouTube, but I appreciate you guys as well.
TikTok has a great view of the fretboard.
Nice. Right hand pattern starts with 2 down strums. Ba. Da, da. Down, 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 up, down, 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 up. Down, 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 down. Okay, so now I'm going to do it with just an E minor chord. Ready? 1, 2. Here we go. Down, 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 down. Now, yeah, if the audio's cutting out a little, which I see some comments, I'm just going straight from my phone, although I do need to get an internet booster for the studio.
You could try to just data. I need it.
Just turn the Wi-Fi off.
Yeah.
Pattern, down, 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 down. Now, if you couldn't keep a steady rhythm with me, you should try to do the 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Then so we're going to add to that. If you're a straight beginner, which that's really what this particular live stream's for, but take your middle finger off and grab that 3rd fret E string, and you're right there for a G chord. If you can get really fancy, get your ring finger onto the 3rd fret high E if you can. Now, Noah says he's a beginner. How can he get better at up-strums? Something that is a good idea. This pick here says, I don't think you'll be able to actually read it, but it says thin. So if you use a lighter, hey, Josh Norco with the super chat, thanks.
Fix it.
Oh, the audio fixed it. And Matt with the super chat, thanks. So if you use a thinner pick, it's flimsier and more forgiving, and the up strum will be easier. Now, when I first started playing, and I learned on an acoustic first, I loved a really thin pick. It made me feel like I was better I felt like better at guitar than when I used what I use now, which is a thick pick. I use a heavy pick now, but the heavy pick for me is more benefiting the... It's a little more for the getting louder single notes out of it. But if you're a beginner, use a thin pick. Okay, so I'm gonna add 2 more chords, and it is actually similar to Wonderwall, but I was thinking more in the style of Boulevard of Broken Dreams, which they're tuned down a half step, but it's E minor, G, D, and A.
All right, 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1,
Just looking at the comments. Okay, so E minor, G, D, and A. Down, 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 up for each chord. E minor, down, down, G, down, D, A, E minor. Not just the right hand. Down, 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 down. Matt, any important questions or anything on any of them? Yeah, so that was Green Day. Someone said Freebird, but you can literally start with down, up, down. Down, up, down, up, down, up, down, up, down. G, D, E minor. Stays on E minor, then F to C to D. Down, up, down, up, down, up, down, up, down, up, G, up, down, up, D, up, down, up, E minor. Down, up, down, E minor, up, down, up, F, up, down, C, up, down, up, D. I didn't know what I was doing. Down, up, 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 down, up. You think I'm playing Imagine, but I'm not. I'm playing You Can't Always Get What You Want. Imagine there's no Keith Richards. You can't always get what you want. Okay, so strumming, easy beginner strumming. Take some time to work on your C, A, G, E, and D in any combination, E minor, A minor, and D minor, and then work and just look at your left hand and pick 2 or 3 chords out. For instance, D, F, C, G, F, 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 F. Look into my eyes and it's easy to see. 1 and 1 make 2, 2 and 1 make 3. It was destiny. Once every 100,000 years or so, when the dust does shine and the moon does glow, and the dust does glow. Needless to say, the beast was stunned. Whip crack with his rubbish hail, and the beast was done. And he asked us, "Be you angels?" We said nay. We are but men. Rock. I can't sing like you do, but. Acapella? Acapella? You out there? Acapella, bless you. Fun fact, that last chord progression in there, it's, they do a bunch of cool little borrowing in there, but that last part, A minor, G, D over F sharp, F is like While My Guitar Gently Weeps. All right, one other pattern that I find really, really helpful. Just looking at the comments. Appreciate you guys. Hey, Kathy. Dorian Groove, yes. Thanks, guys. Thank you, thank you. Okay, so one other pattern starts with down, up, down. It's a little different. Down, up, up. Then you do it. I'll do it, then you do it. Down, up, up. Down, up, up. Down, up, up. Down, up, up. Down, up, up, down, up. Down, up, down, 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 up, down, up. Let's do it with a G chord. Now let's take that G chord and put the ring finger on the 3rd fret B string and the pinky on the 3rd fret high E. That's a little. Let's see how tuning is for the algorithm. So we had a down, up, down, up, down, up. Down, up, down, up, down, up with the G chord. But if we double up here, then we can do another great, easy combination of chords. This G then a C add 9 is a really great, easy chord to move to. You just move your index and middle finger down a string each. So now A string 3rd fret, D string 2nd fret. Down, up, down, up, 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 down, up, down, up, down. And then a D goes with that too. Those can be in any order. They don't have to be, you could start with a D chord. And while we're at it, I do have a bunch of courses at martymusic.com that you can check out. Something that I finished shooting, it's not done being edited, is I actually made a new course called, well, it's not even out yet, so it's what I'm calling it currently, is Beginner Strum Patterns for Beginners. So put the word beginner in there twice. Beginner Strum Patterns for Beginners. Yeah, you gotta...
Somebody said, how do you listen to High Fade? Amazing funk band.
Yeah. Is that TikTok?
That was on Instagram.
Instagram. Oh, sweet. Someone just asked if I've heard of the band High Fade. And they're from the UK, and it's kind of like, it's funk, but it's got a little bit of like rock and roll energy in it, but really tight. It's funky, tight, funky, like almost Corey Wong, Fearless Flyers, like precision funk, but then with like distortion and effects and like a little more rock and roll energy to it. And they're from the UK, so that makes them very different, just, you know, different influences and whatnot than Minneapolis and of Corey Wong and whatnot. But High Fade, great live music, you know, the music sounds like party music. But someone was asking me, and clearly I have heard of them because I think described them really well. But I'm going to be doing a video with them next week, right?
Yep.
That's still on, right?
Oh, yeah.
The band High Fade is coming here to my studio, and I'm going to interview them and jam, and that's going to be really fun. And I'm going to go check out their show in town, and yes, so that's going to be really exciting. But yeah, I think, you know, any guitar enthusiast would enjoy checking them out. Oh yeah, here's a cool chord that's from that Tenacious D song. This is the A minor 9 that you can substitute for an A minor chord. And so what I'm doing is I'm playing the open A string, and then I'm playing the 7th fret D string with my ring finger. And then with my index finger, I'm playing the 5th fret G string. And then letting the B and high E ring out. Someone said, when am I going to the Gibson Garage in the UK? Hopefully soon, hopefully soon. I will announce it here if and when I do that. A few shout outs while we're here. The writing's really small on the phone. Here, I'll hold it here so I can see it. Still be looking. Jerry Abu, where in the UK? Well, I'd probably go to London, but there's no plans scheduled right now. Ankle Nibbler. Oh boy. That's an interesting name there. Tiged. Jared Pergin. Chase Edits. Steve Gandy. Well, Steve Gandy said Sublime. I've got Rome from Sublime coming into the studio soon. So I'm going to be doing a video with Rome. I'm really looking forward to that. So that's going to be fun. Greg Roberts, Manchester. I'll go to Manchester. I will go. I will.
We'll go to Newcastle too.
We'll go to Newcastle. I'll go to all of them. If you want me to, I'll go. South Africa to see Green Day and the Offspring next year. I don't have a plan to do that. Sound more like John Frusciante. Play a Stratocaster to a Marshall. No, but I mean a Strat is going to give you a closer tone immediately without being better at guitar. Learn some of his songs. Learn some of his solos. There's YouTube videos.
Shout out Toronto.
To who?
Toronto.
Oh, Toronto.
We were just with Strumbellas.
We were just with the band the Strumbellas from Toronto. That video will be coming out soon. Australia, I would love to go to as well. Someone talked about the Blues Festival, and then we never heard back from them. The Embrat Kingdom. Can you play C minor? I can play C minor. And I can explain C minor. A minor is this right here. The root's the open A string. A to B is a whole step up. So if I move this shape up a whole step, the three notes that my fingers have moved to are of B minor, but the open strings haven't changed. So I have to actually use my finger as a capo and make that A minor shape with my other fingers. So if I played A minor with these fingers instead, you have A minor, up a whole step, it becomes B minor, no new shape. B to C on any musical instrument, B to C is only a half step. So I just move this up a half step, and now I have your request, C minor. But the cool thing is when I move it up a half step, it's C sharp minor or D flat minor. Move it up here, it's D minor, which should sound the same as my open D minor. Wiseman. Hello? I did a little short with that joke and it didn't become viral like I wanted it to, and I was at Guitar Center doing it, and I'm doing the thing with one hand, and then I pick up my phone and I'm like, looks like I'm scrolling through it, and then my friend who does my editing, Jacob, inserted a shot of me like shopping on, like looking at reverb.com and stuff, all these funny things. Anyway, no one watched it. Okay, Lou R. Won a Gibson Les Paul and Boss Katana on the gear giveaway here in UK. And he loves my patch and my Boss Katana patches. Awesome, thank you. B sharp is the best note. So there's a B and then half step to C. So like that's the joke that there's no B sharp. But there actually is a B sharp. If you're looking at sheet music, there can be a B sharp. But anyway, we don't have to worry about that. It is a C as well. Let's see. Good question. What should I do if the practice my pick is coming loose while playing muted strings mostly? Repetitions, just repetitions, you know. There are picks that are less slippery. you know, they have like a little coating on them that, you know, absorbs the sweat and doesn't get as slippery. So that could be one thing you could try. Greg Roberts, thank you again for always watching. Steve Gandy as well. Appreciate you. Crazy guy. I love playing guitar too. Finlay Collins. Hunger Strike. That's a great song.
You do a lesson on that.
Have I not done one? Okay. Well, it's not coming to mind how to play it. Topic, yeah. Some people just repeat the same comment over and over. Rudy Tyndall, any tips on bar chords? Yeah, martymusic.com has a free bar chords course. And I walk you through how and why they work, similar to what I was talking about with that C minor chord, but also tips on just how to play those bar chords cleaner. So martymusic.com, free bar chords course, free, and it'll help too. Carson Erdman, thank you. Roger McMurray, what about A Man I'll Never Be by Boston? No Common Sense. Can you please play any Depeche Mode? Rudy Vapes said, I totally ignored his donation, but that's all good. Well, it certainly wasn't ignoring it. Did you do a super chat? If you did, I just didn't see it. Very different than ignoring. But you did get a shout out just now, and I appreciate you either way. But yeah, no, definitely not ignoring. You know, the comments go by real fast, my friend. Joshua Millman wants to know what they should be learning. I would say set goals for yourself and answer that question to yourself. Sweet Caroline, I need to do that one. I don't know if I've done that at Marty Music. I was notified before I started this live stream that today, April 13th, is the day that this channel was registered, you know, when it was started. It was 3 months, I think 3 months later that the channel went live, but the actual, you know, going in and setting it up and starting the process where it's like, okay, we are creating this thing called Marty Music. That was 8 years ago. Does that sound right? 2016. 8 years ago on this day today of this live stream, we went in and created the channel, I believe. Or something like that. It hadn't actually started though. Elias Roark, Walmac, Bob Allman, Lou R, Ozzy Farrow, Colbstero 323 or something like. Went by too fast. Giggy 550, favorite Aerosmith tune. Favorite Aerosmith song. Back in the Saddle Again is really good. I'll name two. Back in the Saddle, but I mean, talk about like a hit rock song is Lovin' an Elevator. Lovin' an elevator, living it up when I'm going down. I like that one. And also, I'll age myself here, which is fine, but that album, the Pump, Aerosmith's album Pump, is what Janie's Got a Gun and Lovin' an Elevator. That was one of my first CDs I ever bought. Like, I bought cassettes before that. But when the CD player finally became more affordable, got my first CD player, the first session of going to the record store to buy my first like 4 or 5 CDs, Pump was one of them, and I think Tom Petty's Full Moon Fever. So if someone looked it up, those should be released around the same year, within a close vicinity of each other. I remember having both of those in my first CD player. And then I think Cat Stevens' Greatest Hits too. I for some reason got that along that same session. Pump is when they kind of came back, and also Pump is when they. I'm sorry, I'm looking at your comments at the same time. Aerosmith's Pump is also when they started having other people write some songs for them. I don't think they wrote Love in an Elevator, but like those power ballads, especially, and I think Janie's Got a Gun maybe even, or co-wrote. Anyway, they brought in.
Sorry, we got Epiphone in the Instagram.
Oh, no way.
Yeah.
Epiphone, what's up? I got my Epiphone signature guitar right here. But today was beginner strum patterns for beginners. So, yeah, and so this is the part where someone might comment, oh, I thought this was about beginner strum patterns. But I think I led real strong on the strum patterns in the beginning of this live stream. This is at the end. I'm giving shout outs, answering questions. I used to teach this. He's an adult now, but I taught this little kid when he was a little kid, Nicky. Shout out, it's just Nick now because he's an adult. Nicky was when he was a little cute little kid. But Nicky's dad was just obsessed with Aerosmith. So anytime I came over, it was always like Aerosmith fest, talking about Toys in the Attic and you know how they used to be so cool in the 70s. Elias Rourke says favorite strings. D'Addario strings. NYXLs 10 gauge for my electrics, and then the EJ 116s for acoustic typically, but every once in a while a little silk and steel really makes it fun on the acoustic because it's just a different tone. So I like mixing it up sometimes with the silk and steel, and they're a lot easier on the fingers. They're not like nylon strings, but they're like lighter, almost nylon string-ish. I got a lot of D'Addario strings. Let's see here. What picks do I use? Marty Music picks. But they're actually D'Addario Black Ice, 1.14 millimeter. But like I said, I learned with a thinner, lighter pick, and as I started to play more lead guitar, a thicker pick was better. Richard 1206 with the super chat, I really appreciate that. Thank you so much. I've almost made $20 in this live stream, which will almost get us lunch. Well, it's late. It's later here, so it's not lunchtime here. I've got a Hendrix course at martymusic.com as well. Also, though, if you can't afford that, you can look up, I have so many, I think, really valuable Hendrix technique lessons here at the Marty Music YouTube channel. So check that out. Slushy says, do I have bar chord tips? Earlier, I talked about how I have a free course on bar chords at martymusic.com, but two things some tips for bar chords, and then we're gonna get out of here. One is the higher up the neck you go, the frets get closer together. So if you're just practicing bar chords, they're gonna be a little easier on your hand. Oops, I was in drop D there. So up here, they're a little easier to play. Good job, everyone. So, but as we go, and lunch is on me. Oh, Josh Norco, get out of here with that. Thank you, Josh. I appreciate that. Josh Norco is such a great friend and follower. he's been slowly paying me back for the dream giveaway I gave him at Sweetwater. He got a Les Paul, a Boss Katana, D'Addario strings, straps, picks, the whole shebang. So he's been paying. I think you're good, man. You're good. Like, you've paid me back, I think. That was a couple years ago now. Gloomy, thank you for the super chat. Appreciate that so much. You've made me less gloomy today. Josh Norco, that trip that we did where I flew Josh out to Sweetwater as a surprise, he want, for being such a super fan. But that was the same trip where I met Joe Bonamassa, actually, for the first time. Josh Smith, his guitar player in his band, Joe Bonamassa's band, Josh Smith was at Sweetwater. Well, they were in town at the same time as us. And Josh Smith went into Sweetwater to do something about his a photo shoot for his signature guitar, whatever it was. And I saw Josh Smith, and I know him. We had met a few times leading up to it. So I was like, hey, Josh, how's it going, blah, blah, blah. And he was like, hey, you want to go to the show tonight? We're playing. And I said, yeah, let's do it. And so we went, and I didn't go, expecting to meet Joe Bonamassa, but I went. I've seen him in concert a few times. In fact, back in the olden days before I had YouTube and I was just a normal, friendly neighborhood guitar teacher, I had more than one student take me to Joe Bonamassa live. Like, you got to go to Joe Bonamassa with me. I won't accept no for an answer. So I was very familiar with Joe Bonamassa. Oh, and also Joe Bonamassa, he doesn't know this, but when he first got his big news story about opening for B.B. King, and he was like 12 or 13 years old, and Katie Couric, I think, did this piece, news story on Joe as a kid, Dynamo, I was just starting to learn guitar barely at that point. And so my mom taped that segment for me on her VHS and was like, you have to see this little kid. And I'm only 2 or 3 years older than Joe, so it's not like I was an adult and he was a child, but someone said, my dad is Josh. If that's true, that's awesome. He's a really nice guy and an amazing, ferocious guitar player. One of the best playing guitar players out there. Joe Bonamassa says, I'm the second best guitar player in my band, which is very nice and flattering. But after the show that I went to in Fort Wayne, Indiana, where Sweetwater was, as you do when the show's over, whoever invited you text them and just say, great show, if it was a great show. And if it was a terrible show, you still say it was a great show. But it was a great show. And so I texted Josh, just said, thanks for hooking up the tickets, man. You guys were awesome. And Josh really ripped a couple amazing solos that night. And Joe did his thing. So awesome. But I said, hey, great show tonight, blah, blah, blah. And then Josh texted me right back. He said, hey, Joe wants to meet you. Can you, meet outside here at the back and we'll let you in. So they came around, let me in, and I had an hour sit down with Joe Bonamassa that night. And it was just awesome, I didn't even know he knew who I was, honestly. I mean, you'd say, oh, but Marty, you have all those views and your guitar world, you're in that guitar sphere. So, of course, he knew you. But I never assume that anyone knows me. It's just safer that way. I think a little more, better way to lead my life is to assume no one knows me. But that was super flattering. And then it must have been a nice chat on his end too, because a year later he's showing up with a hat with a picture of me on it. So all I can say is thank you, Joe, so much. And yeah, he was just super nice and super cool and so respectful of me and just couldn't have been nicer. Hey, Josh Norco, thank you. Really appreciate you, man. But I hope your back's feeling better. Let's wish back healing for Josh. He has a slipped, Josh Norco, not Josh Smith. Josh Norco, he has a slipped disc or a bulging disc. The only time a bulge is bad. Miniega. I don't know what that is. Someone said, what are my thoughts on that? I'll Google it, I guess. I don't know. Yeah, Deliverance. That's what I was doing there. All right, well, a lot of shout outs, a lot of beginner strumming. We still got a lot of people watching, so, but it's been 46 minutes. 47 minutes. That's a long one. Because I remember looking and it was like 18 minutes and I was like feeling like I was done, you know, and now that's like over twice ago, the time. Oh, I could be Amish, huh? With a black hat. I'll pass. Do I have a mini pack for chords? Well, I have a pretty affordable beginner acoustic course that will show you the chords in the order of easiest to more advanced, you know, the order I think you should learn them. And that's pretty, I mean, it's cheaper than one guitar lesson. Thanks, Josh, and I hope your back feels better. My favorite pedal effects, well, you gotta have an overdrive pedal. I like an overdrive pedal more than a distortion pedal or a fuzz pedal. So I would say overdrive pedal, number one. Number two, a looper pedal, because it's just an amazing practice tool. And then three and four would be a real basic delay pedal and a wah-wah pedal. And then fuzz after that. And then maybe distortion if you want a different, you know, overdrive, distortion, and fuzz are three different types of distortion. And they all sound a little different. So all those, that's really all you need. But then from there, you can have fun with, you know, flangers and phasers and auto wah and all that. Jordan Mills, I don't know any Tommy Emmanuel because he's so amazing. No, I know one thing. He goes, he has scratches on his guitar and he can make it sound like a drum brush. It's pretty good. Tim Henson signature guitar. It's probably a great guitar. I'm if Polyphia and that, whatever you call that style of music is over here, and like the Beatles and the Rolling Stones are over here, I'm way over there. So I really respect the talent and the music. Like, I don't not like it, but it's just not my thing. I really have no strong opinions about anything related to Polyphia other than just memes and guitar nerd stuff. Math rock. Yeah, math rock. I'll take Tool over Polyphia. When is it best to change chords over strumming? Made the switch from picking to strumming. Well, that's just going to depend on the song, the progression. Because if you have like a down, up, down, up, 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 down, up, you can subdivide chord changes depending on what what the song is or what you're creating. So that was just the same pattern, down, up, 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 down, up, but I could hold. Or I could switch along. All right, we'll see you guys later. Thanks again. Have a great rest of your weekend.